Okay, which do you prefer for product development, Kanban or Scrum? I mean, what do you prefer to drink, water or beer? It depends. Well, it doesn't really, I don't drink anymore. But Kanban and Scrum, why do we keep putting these in opposition to each other? Why is it one or the other? I'm not talking about the Kanban method. That is a proposed, I don't know what it's currently called, I guess, method of product development that is different to Scrum, deliberately so, and it's coming from a different place, and it's good. I have no issue with it at all. But most people, when they say Kanban, don't really mean that. Even if they keep telling me they do, they then don't talk about it. They just talk about good old-fashioned signalling, visualization of the work, making some things understandable, transparent. And why are they in competition? I don't get it. They're not. Okay. What we're looking at is either Scrum, a time-based approach, to complex problem solving, or Kanban, a workflow-based approach, limiting work in progress to complex problem solving. Why not, instead of saying which one do I prefer, understand that they are tools? Okay? If you have a big list of stuff, you might want to use Scrum because it's really good at turning a big list of stuff into a product that your customer wants. If the stuff turns up in a more ad hoc, volatile nature and things shift a lot, Scrum actually has a weakness there because it's asking you to commit to the sprint goal for a period. It might be only a week, it might be 4 weeks, it might be a calendar month. But it's asking you to commit to that goal. If you're in too volatile a situation to think that is, you may want to go to Kanban, and that's good. Okay? My experience is that newer teams struggle with Kanban. Not because it's a bad approach, it's not, and yes, you can absolutely get a new team up to speed on Kanban, but very often they need to learn skills that are easier learned inside the time boxes of Scrum. How do we plan? How do we design? How do we build? How do we test to a high quality level in a short time frame? Right? Scrum requires you to learn that. You have to. If you say you're going to deliver something in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time, you need to show something to the people paying the bills, the stakeholders. Okay? Because you said you would, you will get there as a team. It might be painful, it very often is, but you will get there. You will learn how to do this work in that way. Kanban can be seen to be much looser, okay? Because start where you are and evolve from here, commit to getting better. Okay? In experienced hands, that's a really powerful thing. Starting with a very simple structure and just saying improve, respect what's around you, but constantly improve your environment, improve your processes, your tools, your relationships. I'm a big fan. Okay? But with a new team, they often miss parts of that, or they let themselves off it because it's hard. They don't have to be there in 2 weeks' time presenting work. And my experience means that it's slower to get them started using Kanban. So in those instances, I will likely use Scrum, at least to set the frame, to get them thinking, even if I need to lose it quickly because the type of work is shifting and changing. Okay? There is never, in my mind, a preference to one or the other. Okay? What you need to do is look at who's in your team, what are their experience levels, what are their preferences, what's the work at hand, what's the nature of the organisation, the nature of the market, the nature of the product. And all of this will tend to tell you, do you want to be time-bound and use something that looks like Scrum? Or do you want to be more flow-based and use something like Kanban? But what I can also tell you is, whatever you start with, you're going to need to change it, to adapt it, to fit better to your context. And once you think you've got it, your context is going to shift. And you're going to have to go through the cycle again, and you're going to have to evolve it and change it and adapt it and learn constantly. Okay? So I really thought that we were getting away from this almost us versus them mentality. Yes, I'm a Scrum trainer. And yes, I use a lot of Kanban in my coaching side, because it supports the teams that I work with, the organisations that I work with. I may start with one over the other, may go the other way. It really depends who's there and what we need to do. They're tools. I can't say this enough or loud enough or strongly enough. They're tools in your toolbox. If you only understand one, please go and learn about the other. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.